Welcome back, everybody, to another I had food poisoning, Your Honor, I couldn't make it to court episode of Lockdown 23 in 1. That's right, we're jumping back into a Texas courtroom with the Honorable Judge Boyd once again to witness her sentence a defendant that's had many slaps on the wrist, which means chance after chance after chance. And unfortunately, people that can't get right after many chances in the courtroom, the next step is the old big house clank prison. And that definitely ain't where you want to be, but you do want to be here on Lockdown 23 in 1. So if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. All right, here we go, man. You know, I always get a little nervous for the defendant when going in front of the Honorable Judge Boyd, especially if it's for a probation violation, man. I think they got it muted right now or something. But
all right, so before we go on the record, my understanding is that with Judge Angeline, he had entered pleas of truth.
That's correct, Judge.
And then he was to come back for the outcome of something.
Of a UA. And so he had some food poisoning that day. He'd gone to
let's get the record.
Okay, we can do that. It's a little bit of procedural stuff.
I was just trying to figure out.
Yeah, there's a story.
Okay. All right, court is calling 2022 CR 1449W State versus Austin Young. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Lauren Espinoza.
Defense.
Louis Martinez on behalf of Mr. Young.
And are you Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. On September, I think this is September 11th, you entered a plea of true to violations 2, 2, and 2.
He pled guilty to violations 2, 2, and 2. How can he be violated with the same code 3 times? I'm guessing he's probably on probation for 3 different felonies. So when you're on probation, you get in trouble for one, you get in trouble for all of them. But he pled true to it, so he's pretty much at the mercy of the courts from here on out, which is a terrifying situation.
You entered a plea of true to violations 2, 2, and 2. And there was no sentencing on the plea. Off the record, your attorney informed me that you were requested to do a UA or something.
A UA,
yes.
The 11th.
All right, you may proceed to counsel.
Okay, so Judge, just procedurally. So on the 11th, Mr. Young was released by Judge Angeline provided to go to get UA. And essentially told him in open court, if you clean tomorrow, then you're just going back on probation. I'll reinstate you. If you're dirty, then you need to go in someplace. Mr. Young called me from pretrial services. I was on the phone with him. We were trying to talk to somebody there about him doing a UA. They kept saying, we don't have anything from the court, so we had trouble doing that. The next morning, Mr. Young had some food poisoning issues, had been at the doctor's, did not come in, a warrant was issued. And then we just tried to regroup and figure out where to go from here.
All right, so it sounds like he had a slap on the wrist by getting on probation for these crimes. Not to mention another slap on the wrist, his attorney said. The previous judge released him and said if he could come back with a clean UA, urinalysis, we'll reinstate you, put you back on probation, but he just couldn't do it. He had issues because there probably wasn't no court order or paperwork or wherever he was at. He probably wasn't even at the place that he said he was. A lot of people come in here saying whatever they want, knowing that the courts can't do detective work right then and prove them right or wrong. So maybe he was, maybe he wasn't at the pretrial building. Who knows? He said, screw it, waits the next day, goes to the hospital, said he has food poisoning. Look, this is one appointment that you do not want to miss. And not to mention, when he was at the pretrial building, me personally, I wouldn't have left. If they said they weren't giving me urinalysis and I knew I had to show them one, I'm not risking it. I'm going to walk my butt right to the courts, talk to any kind of judge I possibly can, saying, look, someone needs to come over here with a cup. I've been holding this for 2 hours, right? You got to make sure that it's done. And sometimes, you got to take the extra step. The right way, of course, and this guy obviously didn't do it the right way because he's in the courtroom now. The only saving grace he has, which I can almost guarantee he doesn't, is if he has medical paperwork saying from some doctor that he was positive for some kind of bacteria or whatever, foodborne illness. I don't know the correct wording for that, just something along those lines. That could help him. But like I said, I doubt he has it.
We were trying to talk to somebody there about him doing a UA. Nobody could. They kept saying we don't have anything from the court, so we had trouble doing that. The next morning, Mr. Young had some food poisoning issues, had been at the doctor's, did not come in. A warrant was issued. And then we just tried to regroup and figure out where to go from here. And so Mr. Young brought himself in voluntarily yesterday. One of the things that we needed to address, that we'd addressed with the court, with Judge Angelini, is that in May, Mr. Young was having some mental health issues and some kind of mental health emergencies. And that was kind of the reason for the non-compliance in May. I've got his mother here to testify to that. And so I'd ask the court for to allow me to bring her up and kind of explain what's going on. Okay.
Oh man, we're about to hear from the mom. It's probably gonna break my heart because my mom had to speak for me before in the courts. Even after I was sentenced being led away, I could see her going up to the judge trying to change his mind. Heartbreaking. But I'm free now, mama. And this guy, man, I think he's faking the funk with all this looking down, not even taking an eye contact with the judge. Playing the old pitiful possum game, just my 2 cents. But like I was saying also, if you're gonna come in here saying mental health issues or food poisoning, you better have some paperwork to back it up. Or else it's just, a hearsay. Mumbo jumbo.
You just step over there.
Yeah, over there, bro.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Wendy Scholmer.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Okay. Ms. Schulmer, I mean, obviously you're Austin's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to the court what was going on with him mentally in May and what our issues were?
He had, looking back, shown signs of depression, but I didn't know that's what it was. He was not eating a lot, not active. He had a lack of energy, in bed a lot, depressed. He was looking for jobs and getting no luck at all.
Okay, let me stop you there. So he was looking for employment, and obviously the biggest issue is his criminal history.
Yes,
Okay.
the record.
Right.
Nobody wants to even open the door to him.
Okay.
Oh no.
And
what kind of criminal record does this guy have? I have no earthly idea other than he's in here for violations. Hopefully the Honorable Judge Boyd elaborates on his past dark history.
He, looking back, was completely withdrawing and kind of having a mental breakdown.
Oh no, man.
what kind of signs did you see of him having a mental breakdown?
Withdrawn from everybody.
Okay. Did you seek out any kind of medical help from at the time?
Yes.
And what kind of mental help did you seek out for him?
I took him on Sunday. Friday was when I really noticed something was not right with him. He was kind of talking, saying crazy things, not crazy, but just not appropriate things, not in the here and now. And so on Sunday, he was not sleeping either, not eating, not sleeping. So on Sunday night, I ran him up to a little local ER, Methodist ER in our neighborhood.
Okay.
And they did a history, and not a physical, but just talked to him, this cool doctor from Austin, and said, well, maybe you just need to get some sleep. And I was very shocked at the lack of care or concern, but of course I'm his mother. So he said, well, let me give you something to sleep. So he gave him one Ativan. And by the time we got to the car, he was relaxed and he slept that night.
Yeah.
Monday morning, he woke up and became very agitated and talking out of his mind and not eating and just not himself. So then that went on Monday. Monday, we came down to see you.
Yes.
Because I knew he had court Tuesday, and I knew he couldn't do it. He wasn't sleeping. He couldn't get dressed. He was a mess. So Tuesday.
It's probably because he knew he was going to jail. A lot of people, man, once they know they're violated or messed up to the point where there's no return, they lose all hope, sit there, rot away. and just wait. I don't know if he knew something like that was coming or not, but I did at one point, and man, it really takes a huge toll on your mental, man, knowing that you're going back to lockup and there's nothing you could do about it. Just gotta wait for the court process.
I took him back. I went to a Stone Oak Methodist Hospital ER,
Okay.
and we waited for hours, and kind of the same thing, a little bit more concerned, but not much. And we sat in a room for hours, and the doctor did do some blood work. No blood work, did a urinalysis. And then they gave him something, and it made him much worse, much more agitated. At that time, they called in a Bexar County, I guess, policeman or sheriff. I'm not sure who he was, but he was very kind. And he talked to Austin and said, you know, they don't have the facilities here. They don't treat psychiatric patients, but we can just take you in the ER and the ambulance straight over to Methodist Specialty where they can help you.
Okay, and let me stop you. And so was he taken over to Methodist Specialty?
No.
Okay.
He said, no, I'm fine. He said, I'm fine. I'm fine. I said, no. I looked at the policeman. I said, no, he's not. And he said, well, we can't force him to go, and you can't either. He's an adult. So they gave him something, made him. Oh, I said, he's got to have something to sleep. I can't take him home. He's pacing the floors 24/7. So they gave him one more Ativan. And I said, could you please write him a prescription for just 2 or 3 until we can get to see a doctor? And she said, no, you have to go to Methodist Specialty. We are not a psychiatric hospital.
Okay, let me stop you there. And it's kind of subsequent to that is when we started coming to court, and we've had these, you know, the issues with the warrant, those sorts of things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then
and so
that's yet to come.
Okay. Now,
so he's kind of blaming all that stuff on the warrants, how it's leading up and blending in, and probably why, you know, had an effect on him not showing up to court. Yep, if I were to guess, this dude's definitely going to the penitentiary.
And it's kind of subsequent to that is when we started coming to court, and we've had these, you know, the issues with the warrant, those sorts of things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then
and so
that's yet to come.
Okay. Now, had you ever noticed him have kind of a psychological breakdown like that before?
Yes, once before
And when was that?
in high school.
And what were the circumstances of that?
He was having a very difficult time getting through a math class that was required for graduation. He had lots of learning disabilities, and he was being bullied, and all of a sudden just stopped eating, wouldn't go to school, completely shut down.
Okay.
Oh man, by the sound of it, if he goes to the penitentiary, he's going to see a whole nother world of bullying. And if he shuts down in there and stops eating, man, the inmates are going to love that. Extra trays any day we get him sad enough, y'all. Let's break him down good today. Jeez, man, he's going to have it hard, like I said, if he goes to penitentiary. Just a guess, just a guess.
Kind of consistent with that.
Yes, but the pediatrician at that point helped us and gave us something to get him through it. And with the principal's help and the special education department's help, we were able to get him out of the high school and into a alternative school to finish his requirements to graduate early.
Okay. And so these are the issues that he's been having for the past several months, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And a lot of it is the fact that he's trying to move forward, and he's kind of running into roadblocks every chance.
Yes, he can't. He's getting through his probation pretty well in his recovery program, but he can't be a productive young man. He cannot get a job.
And you see the stress that puts on him.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I mean, one day he said, "Mom, there's no hope for me. I might as well just save."
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Any questions?
Briefly, Your Honor. Hello, Mrs. You stated you observed these types of signs prior to May 25. Is that correct?
Yes.
Approximately what year was the high school incident?
Oh, when he was, let's see, I guess about 18.
And he is how old now?
I'm sorry?
How old is your son now?
39.
So how many years would that have been? About more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Mr. Young ever acknowledge these signs that you observed in him?
Did he acknowledge? No.
Okay.
He said, Mom, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine.
And is that in both 2025 and when he was in high school?
I don't remember high school.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Mr. Young inform his probation officer of these issues he was having?
Yes.
Okay.
He talked to him numerous times about the issues of employment. He said told him to go to Goodwill.
But I'm speaking of the mental health.
Oh, yes. I think so. And he discussed maybe he informed him that he was on an antidepressant.
But you're not positive of that, or you are?
No, I'm not.
Oh man, by her not being too positive about it, it's showing that the situation wasn't too stressed. But the employment was, she knew for a fact that he was talking to his PO about how he can't find a job. But the prosecutor's asking some good questions. First, asking about how long was it since, this high school incident to now, which was over a decade. So, that kind of just shows he's been living on the streets perfectly fine for the last 10 years or so. He might have had some bumps in the road, but, he ain't in prison. It ain't a continuous mental distraught thing. If so, chances are it would have progressively gotten worse a lot sooner. So that was a great question. Even though she ain't got to prove nothing, she kind of let it.
Are you aware that he violated that condition?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that the best way for someone to learn a lesson is to take accountability for their actions?
Yes.
Ooh.
No further questions, Your Honor.
And just very briefly, Austin still is on a alcohol monitoring device, correct?
Yes.
And he's on probation for DWI. He does not drive anymore.
No.
DWI.
Does not have a car and does not drive anywhere.
Okay, so he gets rides or Ubers or
For
walks.
me.
Right.
Me.
Okay. And so, to the best of your knowledge, he is not picking up new offenses, correct?
No.
And to the best of your knowledge, he's reporting to probation.
Yes. I know that he missed one time on a Thursday afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you so much for coming down. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry you have to go through this. What do you have to say for yourself, buddy?
Here's the court's issues.
Yeah.
One, this is not his first motion to revoke.
Correct.
And it's not his first motion to revoke for violation of condition number 2. And it seems every time there is an issue with probation or there is a potential revocation, he doesn't show for court. And something else has popped up where he can't show. And it appears that his issues are the consequences. So I don't know if there's a reason to continue him on probation, because I don't know if there's anything that we can do to help him.
Judge, I'd like him to do UA today if the court would do that. I would, obviously there's some mental health issues. Obviously he's struggling, but I think that the main, there's a lot of things that we ask people to do on probation, but I think the 2 main things we ask them to do is not break the law anymore and to report and allow themselves to be supervised. And he certainly has been doing both of those things. Our biggest issue when we get DWIs in felony court is the fact that it's not your first DWI. By definition, it's not. And if you're willing to get 3 DWIs, then, there's an issue.
So it seems like this guy just can't stop driving under the influence. I thought it was going to be some way worse charges, to be honest. Maybe there's more that they haven't elaborated on. Let's find out.
I think that the most, important thing he's done for accountability is just decide never to drive again. And that's good. That keeps the community safe. So the issue now becomes, how much work do we want to put into him, right? Because, we've got some compliance here, and I think we've got substantial compliance. But if our question is how much more help can we give him, I think that we can. I think that he benefits from the structure. I think he benefits from the supervision. I think he allows himself to be supervised. But, it's not easy to be on probation. It's not easy in this society to have a criminal history because you don't get the same chances other people do. And I'd ask the court to consider a sanction other than revocation. I'd ask the court to consider, there's a recommendation for state ISF cognitive track.
Hasn't he been in a facility
I
before?
think he's been to SADF before. But I mean, we're talking about some cognitive skills. And the main thing is we need to put him in a position to work. And I think if, like with most people, if he's working, we're not going to have problems with him showing up to court. We're not going to have problems with him showing up to probation. If he's working and he's productive, I think that we're going to get, if not perfect compliance, then pretty close to it. Because he's not a person who is out breaking the law more. He's not a person who is refusing to go to probation. And, you know, in fact, the court, as the court knows, he came in yesterday. He knew he had a warrant. He knew he had missed. He knew this was an issue. And it's not like he went ahead and hid out until he got picked up. He came in to take accountability, to go head on and face his actions. And we know that this court is really good about trying to craft conditions of probation that help a person be successful.
The only problem I got with this is we can't really prove nothing, all right? Some drugs stay in your system for what, like 2-3 days? So maybe he just wanted to do it at his own time. He knew he was going to fail and say, man, I'd rather just, you know, get a warrant for my arrest and come into the courtroom, try the UA again, just like the defense attorney started off with in the beginning. Of course he's going to start off with that now because he's clean. That's what he thinks is going to happen. He's going to take another UA, the one he was supposed to take. It's going to come back good, and he's going to be going back doing, playing it how he wants to play it. If I were to guess, you know, but you can't do that with old THC. That stuff used to stay in my system for like 3 months. I was in the deep end section.
And so I'm asking the court to consider that in this case.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the state echoes what the court sentiment that this is not the first MTR or violation of condition number 2. There is consistency in failing to take accountability. We'd ask that you'd grant the state's recommendation to revoke. Mr. Young was given opportunities to comply with probation and take full accountability, but we would urge that partial accountability is insufficient here. He was explained his conditions of probation, and he has shown that through his actions and subsequent violations and then subsequent FTAs on 9/12 and 9/23 that he's still not taking accountability for his actions. So we'd ask that you grant the revocation.
All right. This is what the court is going to do.
Oh no,
The
Bobby.
court is going to revoke. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, 2-year license suspension. I'll request the therapeutic community. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money to run concurrent. I'll give him credit for any successful completion and inpatient treatment.
Okay.
Take it easy, Bobby. Take it easy on him. 3 years in old Texas Department of Corrections. Therapeutic, though, possible. Therapeutic is like a community for people that work in programs and stuff. Not, you know, not too dangerous of a prison.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
The form that we signed when Judge Angeline was here, did you review that form with me when you signed?
It's the form
Yes.
telling you whether or not you have a right to appeal. You do have a right to, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on community supervision. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So we can go off the record. So, Mr. Young.
Well, it seems like so far he's taken the 3 years quite well.
So, Mr. Young, it's just that the court has worked with you by giving you inpatient treatment and giving you different treatments to try to help you. But at some point, there is nothing else that I can do. I don't have any more tools. You know, it's sad that the legislature doesn't have more to offer, but I have what I have, and that's it. So
it's hitting them now.
You'll receive the credit for any time that you've served, okay?
And
Thank you.
would you allow him to say anything to the court right now?
I'm sorry?
Judge, would you allow him to say anything to the court right now?
Sure.
You want to say something, Judge?
I don't know what to say, Liz. I'm shocked. I've done everything. I had finished all my probation stuff. I was just waiting for my, my probation to be finished. I've done all my classes, paid my fine. I had done everything. The only reason I had another MTR is that we had lost the monitor and I couldn't afford to pay the $3,500, and you gave me this
So
thing
here's the
for
problem.
90 days, and it's been
This is the
over a
problem.
year.
This is the problem that you're not understanding. You had a violation of condition number 2 previously with the court. You pled true to it. I found it true. And I gave you conditions to address that violation. And then you come back and you have the same violations. So when you have the same violations, which were violations of condition number 2,
Oh no.
we have nothing else.
Oh my God. It's hitting him now.
Thank
No,
you.
Bobby, don't do it to him, man. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a prime example that it doesn't matter after you had a couple slaps on the wrist in the courtroom and you can't follow the rules, procedure, whatever. You're going to prison. That's all there is to it, man. I've been saying that since the beginning of this channel. You can't just follow 90% of the rules and regulations they give you. It has to be 100%. And for a lot of people, it has to be done for years straight. No issues, nothing whatsoever before they release you from probation, right? You got to be an angel and you can't play it how you want to play. If they say you got a urinalysis, you better go take a piss. Better be in that courtroom next day, food poisoning or not. And if it's absolutely impossible to make it there, you better have paperwork to back it up. The mom, the defense attorney, yeah, they might have helped him out a little bit, but they didn't have no definitive paperwork to go with it. Not that I seen, at least, right? So, dude had it coming. That's how it goes on probation. But 3 years in a therapeutic, which I was saying earlier, is like programs. Inmates are always doing some kind of program throughout the day. And if you get any trouble, then you get kicked out and they put you in a regular prison. If that happens to him, man, oh man. It could go very bad, to say the least. Even though with a DWI charge, he'd still go probably to a low-level prison. And look, my uncle went to prison a couple times behind drinking and driving in Texas. They don't play with it. So always buckle up and drive sober, because you could be facing a murder charge by running someone over accidentally, under the influence, right? Or you could just get caught driving. Nobody hurt, it doesn't matter. The process after the fact with those type of crimes is strenuous, man. You're going to have to blow into like an interlock, go to all these programs, AA, license suspended, you know, all kinds of things happen when you get caught driving under the influence of any kind. But I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode and learned a few things along the way. You better be a perfect angel on probation. I'm not even playing. As always, until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.